So with iMovie 11, Apple have added a fun new feature to iMovie, and that is the trailers option. And basically what you can do, just to show you, I'll just go add a new project, and under the project themes, you see you have an option for movie trailers. And you can just click on one and you'll be able to see what the trailer looks like. So I'll just click on Summer Vacation. So basically I'll just create that and then I'll show you how it works. So I'll just call it wedding trailer, and I'll leave the settings as default, and I'll go create. And now when you open it, you'll see you have a few additional options available to you that you don't get when editing standard videos. And it's just information about the trailer, about the movie that you're creating. And then iMovie will use that information to develop a trailer-like effect, like a movie trailer that you would see at the theater. So I'll just call the movie name Wedding and trailer. Group name Apple Champ. Release date's fine, and then start location we'll just leave that the same. That's all fine, it doesn't really matter. And then cast we'll put person 1. Actually, we can just leave these all the same. You'll see how it works. So mom, dad, Audrey, Peter. So there's 4 people, 4 main cast members for this trailer, for this movie. And as you can see, there's a little plus icon. I can add additional cast members and subtract them. So a little bit of customization depending on the movie you're editing. The studio, I'll just call it Apple Champ Films, and we'll make the logo Sunrays. I like that. And then credits, we'll leave all the credits the same. So all Apple Champ. And then the storyboard, this is really quite interesting. What they've done is, instead of you dragging your media in and manually editing it yourself, they've created a storyboard for you. So the trailer will take care of the transitions and the adding of the files together. All you need to do is choose appropriate clips, and you can see it gives you indication of what it wants. So the first one it wants is a landscape clip. So I'll just choose this, and it wants 2 seconds long, so I'll just take that. You can see it automatically pops it in. I just select it and then drag, and now it wants a medium shot of an individual. So let's see if I can find someone. So we'll go 2.2 seconds. And then we want action. So let's find some dancing maybe. There's some dancing. So we'll make that 1.1. Then another medium shot. So we'll do that one. Another wide shot, we'll do that one again, just to get it complete. Another wide shot. Okay, so I think we've got enough just to preview it and see what it looks like. So you can also just take a look at shot list, and you can see it asks for certain shots of the different characters. So for mom, it wants 2 clips. For dad, it wants 2 clips. For Audrey, it wants 2 clips. Peter, 2 clips. And then action shots, it wants so many clips. Then group shots, it wants 1. So you can either go to the storyboard and add the individual shots through the storyboard, Or you can just go to shot list and give it all the different clips, and then it will automatically add them to the storyboard for you where necessary. So now that we've done that, we can just go and preview it. So I'll just play it. Now you see it says Apple Champ Films. And there you see, it's taken all the clips I've added, and it's adding all the different transitions and the fun text that's flying across the screen with some good music. So basically, it's just a very quick way of generating a fun trailer for a film that you might be editing, or maybe it's just for fun for you and your friends. But it's just a really cool feature that Apple have added to iMovie 11, and I just thought it was worth mentioning and showing you how it works. Now, before you export your video for final use and playback, there's also a nice option to be able to add chapter markers to your video. So if your video is long, perhaps an hour or 2 hours, you can add chapter markers within the video that you can jump to very quickly on your playback device. And to do that, again, it's one of the options we enabled when we went to our preferences and enabled advanced tools. We have these comment box and chapter marker options available to us. So the little red box with an arrow is a chapter marker, and you can just click on it and drag it down to your project. So in my case, I'll drag it to the beginning of this clip, and now I can just name a title for it. So dinner setup is fine, and I'll drag another one down to here, and I'll just call it view. So now I have 2 chapter markers that I'll be able to jump to very quickly in my exported video. And finally, once you finish editing your video and adding chapter markers and you've played it back and you're happy with how it looks, you're going to want to export this video so that you can play back the files on your devices or on your TV, or to burn it to a DVD. And to do that, you need to come up to the menu bar and use the Share tab. Now, under the Share menu option, we have a variety of ways to export our video. And the first 3 are all sort of connected to your Mac, different programs. So you can export to your media browser, which is kind of like integration with Finder. You can export it to iTunes, so it'll automatically add the video to your iTunes library. You can export it to iDVD to then create an iDVD project and burn it to a disk. And then we have some social networking options where we can export our video to. So you can connect it directly to a YouTube account or Facebook, and it'll export and then post it for you automatically and upload it for you. And then lastly, we have some just standard exporting options where you can just export the movie to any location you choose, or export using QuickTime or Final Cut, depending on which tools you use. Now, iMovie doesn't give you the option to customize your export settings, in the sense that you cannot choose your codec or your bitrate or anything like that. It just has some standard settings for the average user. So I'm just going to use the standard export movie option with the Command E shortcut, just to show you what I mean. So as you can see, it gives me the option to label my video, and the location where I want to save it. And then it gives me the option to choose the resolution that I want. And it shows me what each resolution is compatible with. So the large one won't play on an iPod, but it's fine for an iPhone or iPad or Apple TV or my computer. The medium one's good for an iPod. So it just gives you some indications so that you would know, depending on what you want to use the video for, you can choose the best suitable option. And that's the only option you get. If you highlight the I button next to the resolution, it'll give you some more information about the video. So in my case, the large one is codec H.264, 30 frames per second, approximately 4 megabits per second bitrate, and it'll come out to be approximately 67.8 megabytes big. And you'll also see that the larger options are grayed out for me, and that's because the video that I'm working with is not large enough. I didn't import a full high definition video, so you cannot export to a resolution that's greater than what you've imported. And that's logical. So if you've imported a full HD video, you'll be able to export a full HD video or anything smaller. So in my case, I'll just export it large, and I'll export to my desktop. I'll say export, and iMovie will begin to create the project. So now the export's done, and I can just navigate to my desktop where I told it to save it, and you'll see it's saved as a standard MPEG-4 file. Just bring that in, and the file size is pretty much exactly the file size that iMovie said it would be, and we can just play it back. I'll just select it and hit my spacebar. And there's our title with our date that appears, as well as the music playing. And the nice transition effect. So there's our final video, and as you can see, from start till finish, relatively simple, straightforward process, and you still end up with really good final results. And on that note, we'll end here. That's all for this Apple Champ tutorial. See you next time.